Turning our attention now to presidential politics, President-elect Donald Trump and President Obama arguing over who would have won in a hypothetical matchup between the two of them. The war of words comes after President Obama pledged to make his successor's transition to the White House as easy as possible. Juliana Goldman has more on this brewing fight.
I think she looked and said, well, given my opponent and the things he's saying and what he's doing, we should focus on that.
While admitting to Monday morning quarterbacking, President Obama told David Axelrod on his podcast that Hillary Clinton underestimated working-class America. The president said he would have been able to beat Donald Trump with a message of diversity and tolerance.
If I had run again and articulated it, I think I could have mobilized a majority of the American people to rally behind it. There is a sense, obviously, that some communities have been left behind from the recovery, and people feeling anxious about that.
In response, Mr. Trump tweeted, President Obama said that he thinks he would have won against me. He should say that, but I say no way.
If you succeed, then the country succeeds.
After their Oval Office meeting last month, Mr. Trump said there are pieces of Obamacare that he'd like to keep. Earlier this month, he said he's consulted the president on cabinet picks.
I will always make myself available to him, just as previous presidents have made themselves available to me.
But on foreign affairs, the two have been less diplomatic. As the president acknowledged he warned Russian President Vladimir Putin about meddling in the U.S. election, Mr. Trump tweeted, if Russia or some other entity was hacking, why did the White House wait so long to act? Why did they only complain after Hillary lost? And just this week, Mr. Trump criticized the administration for abstaining from the United Nations Security Council resolution condemning Israeli settlements in the West Bank, tweeting, as to the UN, things will be different after January 20th. President-elect Donald Trump resumes his working vacation today from his Mar-a-Lago club, where he's scheduled to meet with transition aides. Juliana Goldman, CBS News, Washington.
On the topic of the hypothetical matchup between himself and President Obama, Mr. Trump added, the world was gloomy before I won. There was no hope.